We all know the story. Boy meets girl, boy falls in love with the girl, girl says, piss off, and then it comes to it. How is this relevant to this review? Well, let's find out. Now, everybody knows Entombed. Those who don't know are probably as ignorant as it's possible to be in the world of death metal. Now, the story here is we have two Batushkas, we have two Venoms, we have two Entombeds. We have Entombed and Entombed A.D. What's the story here? Well, I'll kind of talk you through a little bit as we go through this CD in question. This one is Entombed A.D.'s third album called Bowels of Earth. And it has on this digipack version 10 tracks plus a nicely done Motorhead cover. So, what could go wrong? Can anything go wrong when Lars-Göran Petrov is here with the vocals and delivering you with some proper Swedish death metal? Basically, nothing is wrong with this one because it's what Entombed A.D. is sounding. It's death with a rock and roll, so it's kind of a death and roll. That's how it has been going on since the Entombed's third album, Wolverine Blues. And since that album, things started to go even more rock and rollish, and not so much the first two albums, classic Swedish death metal. Now, obviously, for some people, this was kind of a blessing in disguise. Some people, it was just a disaster, as much as Darkthrone changing from death metal to black metal band, and things like that. It depends on which way you started to like the band, at which point you so-called joined the caravan, and you know how it goes. There are probably a few people who actually like all the things Entombed and Entombed A.D. were doing, but if that's not the case, then it's kind of a sad story. And this Entombed A.D. digipack has actually a nice patch for your heavy metal vest. So everything you need to do to be a real fan, except for t-shirt maybe. So the story of Entombed is that Entombed have some kind of a chemistry problem with the people. And they got into a dispute or, I don't know, disagreements with how things should be. And that led to these ex-Entombed members to create this band called Entombed A.D. So basically, with the original vocalist, some of the earlier official members creating a different band while Entombed was laying kind of like in its coffin, being entombed. Now Entombed is more or less back. No new album out there, but anyway. And we have this situation. We have two Entombed, Entombed and Entombed A.D. Which one is the real deal? Well, it depends who of those artists you're a fan of, or maybe you just like them both. But one thing is sure, Bowels of Earth is not it's not an album that was supposed to be following the first two Entombed's album. It's very much going with the Entombed's later years. That is this kind of a death rollish thing. And this album is very much delivering what could be expected. It's not a real killer thing, but then again, it's not one of those albums which is just weak and trying to ride on this kind of a name or success or whatever. This is not a groundbreaking album. I'm gonna make it sure that you understand. I mean, probably nothing can ever excel or get to the level of what Entombed was doing with the early on ones. But then again, if you for some reason happen to be the fan of later material and you don't care so much about the early ones, then maybe this is the album that you are after. I mean, I really honestly cannot say I'm disappointed in this one, but then again, I'm not positively surprised either, because I mean, everything is like there with Petrov's kind of a trademark vocals, and it's kind of a classic Swedish death and roll sound. But it's kind of safe and even to some extent kind of a boring album. I mean, it's not offering you anything new. It's not including any kind of killer material which is just gonna blow off your head or anything like that. It is kind of like, I don't know, bottle of milk. It's milk. It's not gonna do some magic tricks or make you make a video or go to your friends like, hey, this is the best milk I've ever had. It's still milk. Maybe for your milk thirst, it's gonna do the deal and you're like, happy go, yay. But still, In essence, it's just milk. Now, milk is a bad comparison because nobody in metal industry ever drank milk. Duh. So it's like a lager beer. Once you know how lager beer tastes, you might have 12 of them, 20 of them, and you're gonna get wasted and happy. But will you ever go to say it's the best beer you ever had? Don't know about you guys. I wouldn't be going that far. But that Bowels of Earth is gonna do for you. It's like a good bottle of cold lager beer, both in good and bad. With that information, do what you will. This is not for the sober kind of people. Not for the I don't drink any alcohol kind of stuff. It's Entombed A.D. Different name, same. You have it. Thank you for watching. Should you have any comments, disagreements, whatever, bitching, whining, put them in the comment box below and I'll get back to you. See ya.